need to move the camera down a little bit.
How do they think about it?
Okay. You good? Alright. Good evening, YouTube.
Hey guys.
I'm Surreal Canine.
Man off.
And over there is Running Riddler. He's hanging with his girlfriend. And we are the Zomgift Boys. Playing some more Trauma Center New Blood tonight. This is Anoss' first time doing this. So this will be pretty interesting. I already sort of ran him through the controls. We'll see if he remembers it. But yeah. Chapter 3, Episode 1, a Special Assignment.
Maryland, on the Atlantic coast of the United States of America.
Gonna adjust the volumes a little bit here. Okay.
In a location close to the nation's capital lies the U.S. branch of Caduceus, the international organization that treats and researches new diseases. Caduceus USA falls under the jurisdiction of Health and Human Services, yet they have their own authority to execute private missions. They are dedicated to the treatment of intractable diseases and the prevention of infectious illnesses.
Marcus Vaughn, age 34, surgeon, place of birth, California.
We have a viewer.
Age
Hello.
28, surgeon, place of birth, North Carolina. Elena Salazar, age 20, nurse, place of birth, California. You three will be assigned to the newly created Special Disease Counteraction Team.
She's Irene Quattro, our new boss.
Now, sign here, and on the written oath and the waiver form. Why the sour face, Dr. Vaughn?
You're forming a new team? What, is this an anti-stigma?
Stigma is a new disease that we were taken on to treat.
You mean is it a result of
It's
Professor
like a
Wilkins' procedure?
newly discovered parasite. And the
Well, we've had
all
this
of the
plan
research
for a
on it
long
was
time,
stolen in the
but
last
the discovery of
episode.
stigma did hasten its establishment.
Yeah.
At least things will be easier on you, since it's such a small team.
Thanks for your concern.
Yeah.
But if we'll be dealing with mainly new diseases, then we'll be performing fewer operations. I hope that won't affect the salary.
Always the pragmatist.
Leave it to you to think of that, Marcus.
No need to worry. We'll be referring plenty of patients to you, special cases which may require
Healing
the
touch
human
is an
touch.
ability that both of the doctors here have. Marcus's healing touch slows down time. Valerie's healing touch locks the patient's vitals in place.
Well, that's good to hear.
Vitals
Your
is,
job
of course, the
description won't
patient's
change
health.
much
If
either,
it hits
Elena.
0, they die.
Oh. That's encouraging.
Your priority will be to assist Dr. Vaughn and Dr. Blaylock with the
The
operations
stabilizer
assigned.
you can inject with the syringe help to just restore HP.
Thank you very
Because,
much.
you know, it's a video game.
I'll do my best, just as I did at Concordia.
Then, the first thing I'd like you to do is become familiar with Caduceus.
agree that your sister
And provide us with whatever information you have on stigma.
Regarding that matter, we've only encountered stigma in one operation. There's really not much for us to disclose. Especially since Professor Wilkins kept a tight lid
Professor
on it.
Wilkins was the discoverer of stigma alongside Marcus.
That's all right. Just tell us whatever you
He
know.
was kidnapped at the same time the research got stolen.
Which is why
You
we're
may
not
be
asking
surprised
him.
at how much you recall.
Yeah.
Extraordinary events leave deep imprints on our
He
memory.
was also the first patient of stigma. He accidentally infected himself during the course of his research.
I hope we'll be able to live up to your high expectations. I was wondering, are we going to be questioned about the disappearance of the professor?
That won't be necessary. This is a hospital, not a police department.
Well, we don't know where the professor was taken. They haven't even demanded a ransom.
I still feel uneasy about all this, but We'll do what we can.
Okay, let me show you around. I hope we can cover everything before my guest arrives. Now, this is your office.
Wow.
But that's
Look at this equipment. I knew Caduceus would be amazing, but this is too much.
Your responsibilities won't be much different than they were in the past. Even though you're now members of Caduceus, you're still first and foremost doctors. We dedicate ourselves to research here, but at the same time, we see regular
keep our skills sharp.
A major part of your duties will be
There we go.
Oh, sure.
Well, it can't be any worse than Concordia. I mean, we weren't exactly welcome there.
Now, let's take a look at where you'll be performing your surgeries.
If I can find a gray egg.
There are a total of 10 ORs, each one equipped for a different type of procedure. Oh, Dr. Everett.
Director, do you know where Dr. Tsuji is?
This is Dr. Everett, our chief surgeon.
He looks like he's in pain. Is something wrong?
I've got cholelithiasis.
Chaplain is spelled chaplain.
I was going to ask Dr. Tsuji to remove the gallstones, but I can't find her
I
anywhere.
can think of.
I can't take this anymore. Director, can you fragment them for me, please?
I wish I could, but I'm expecting a visitor shortly.
But I can't stand the pain any longer.
She'll have it out.
Are these the new doctors you were talking about?
Yes, they are.
She's
I don't
actually
care
been in
who
my
does
favorite
it.
one.
I just need help. I can walk you through the procedure if necessary. I'll even suture myself
She's
when
not
it's
like
over.
scary, but she's just like.
I know this is
Whenever
sudden,
like she and I
but
had,
would you
like,
mind?
whenever she
Not
has
at all.
thinking about something,
Dr.
I share
Everett,
my opinion,
I'm-
she'll, like, tell me why.
Skip the formalities.
Well, yeah.
Just prep for surgery. Ah.
Yeah, it's just like, well.
So yeah,
I've done my research.
Justin Everett.
and-
Extraction of gallbladder and fragmentation of gallstones required. If any gallstones pass, his vitals will take a major
You just
hit.
gotta be careful not to talk about
You can
it.
see them with the ultrasound.
You didn't plug me back on any of these games.
What's up?
I played- I told you
Down
20
and
games,
left
like,
is
yesterday.
I
ultrasound.
know. Well, I've been working on.
Yeah, I know.
It's called school.
Let me explain the chart. Dr. Everett has cholelithiasis and has been experiencing pain for 3 years. 3
It's
years?
something people do to grow
Yes,
their brain.
I've told him repeatedly to admit himself to the ward and have it treated.
The reason why I can't
However,
learn
it seems he's far more interested in taking care of patients than himself.
Typical doctor, neglecting his own needs.
I guess that just goes to show how passionate Dr. Everett is about his job.
When you put it that way. Oh, excuse me, please continue.
We'll use a laser to fragment the gallstone in this operation.
I'm sorry you don't, but
So we'll be taking care of the cause of his pain as well.
Well, I must be going. I'll leave the rest to
probably
you.
get it out though. You're probably sitting on it. Yeah, it's right there. Oh gosh.
Okay, let's get started.
You are the purple cursor.
Sorry
Okay.
if we break your
Okay.
back. What I don't get
We
is
will now begin the operation. Please disinfect the incision area and open him up.
Opposite. If you're caught on the fifth tile,
Okay.
First, we'll be fragmenting the gallstones. If a gallstone passes completely, let's begin by using the ultrasound to locate the gallstones.
only on the fifth.
There's a gallstone. Use the laser to break it up. The gallstone has been
Okay. Yeah,
fragmented.
one of us needs to keep
Let's
track
begin
of the
extracting the
gallstones
gallbladders.
while.
First, inject a sedative into the gallbladder.
Okay. Ultrasound, down and left.
We can't
Laser
remove
is
all at
down.
once.
If you
Let's
see a
cut it into
gallstone,
multiple
burn it.
segments before we
So
take
I'm
it.
And
supposed
don't
to go
forget to
down
use
here?
the laser on the
Over
gallstones
here.
while doing so.
Down here.
Yeah.
All right then. Please be. The cut has caused hemorrhaging. The blood is.
Focus on the gallstones.
The second segment has been.
The gallstones are in the.
The patient's vitals have dropped.
Oh, you
Please
I
don't
told
forget
you.
to treat the gallstone.
Yeah.
The gallstone has split into 2 parts. Use the laser to fragment. You need to pay attention to the gallstones while you're working on the gallbladder. The third segment has been cut off. Remove the last segment
it's
before
down.
hemorrhages again.
They'll be passing all through this green
This
vessel.
should prevent
Yeah,
the
but down
gallstones
isn't
from forming.
doing anything.
Down on the nunchuck. You need to hold A to use the laser.
Okay, good to know.
There it goes.
Please extract the gallbladder and place it on the gallbladder extraction. Please treat the hemorrhaging area with antibiotic gel and suture the epithelium closed. The gallstones have been eliminated and the gallbladder has been extracted.
Alright, that was pretty ugly, but we didn't kill him.
Good, I'm happy Ian didn't kill him. Oh god. As long as Ian didn't kill him.
Operation complete.
So yeah. Control stick to select your tool, A to actually use it. Okay? Except with the forceps where you use both A and B.
Okay. C rank.
We just arrived, and we're already performing emergency surgeries. I can't wait to see what's
That's
next.
life when you're a doctor, I guess.
But I guess it was a good chance to get our feet wet.
It's gonna be you in a few years, yes, sir.
I'm not going through. I'm not a medical.
You always see the positive, Val.
Jeez.
Wish you were my girlfriend, bro.
I wish I was that smart, but I'm just a medical.
You're leaving?
I'm not a medical.
Oh baby. Oh.
I was glad to hear the operation went well. Of course, I'd expect nothing less.
We always do our best.
I hear that often, but for some reason, this time I believe it. Tomorrow, we'll meet to discuss stigma. I'm counting on you both.
Whatever
Like she said, we always do our best.
Q&A.
You know what? Just don't worry about it.
This is so picky. I'm trying to
Wow,
get it.
you assisted in an operation on your first day here? You must be good.
Life.
No, it's the doctors who are good.
Life.
I'm just fortunate to be working with them. Sounds like you work well with them. In my case, it depends on who I'm assisting. I get along with Dr. Everett, but Dr. Tsuji, on the other hand... Oh, forget I said anything. By the way, Ms. Newman, about the operating room support system. Oh, call me Leslie. Everyone else does. Now, it's our responsibility as nurses to manage the support system. It'll probably take some time, but once you get used to it, you'll be able to update an E-chart in a snap. Want to give it a try in a vacant OR?
How the fuck did that not go in?
I'd love to.
What? That makes no sense.
Stop moving.
Regarding this new disease, which has tentatively been named stigma, we received a report from the National Security Council and have begun an independent investigation. Its threat level is unknown, but I can say that the pathogen possesses astonishing mobility. It was unclear whether it even existed until now, but the Wilkins case put an end to the debate.
And we are basing that assumption on the testimony of our two new doctors, yes? Oh, pardon me. I'm Kanae Tsuji, a surgeon here. It's nice to meet you both.
You're absolutely correct, Kanae. While the information provided by Dr. Vaughn and Dr. Blaylock is highly reliable, our own investigation at Concordia also validates the theory. And, it's worth noting, Professor Wilkins was conducting all the research on his own, without help from other doctors.
We spent less than a month there following our transfer from Alaska. But during that time, the professor seemed somewhat paranoid about an information leak.
To be honest, I'm surprised there was a leak, no matter how small.
The NSC never tells us their source of information. I bet the military is involved in it somehow.
Let's try to make do with the information we have at hand. At this point, the research can no longer be left exclusively to Wilkins. It's now the concern of our entire organization.
What?
Prior to your transfer here, we received reports of suspicious cases from various countries. We've already discussed those cases in a previous meeting. The pathogens in question were confused with various parasites, so nothing was conclusive. If any new cases occur, they should now be reported to Caduceus International.
It's unfortunate, though, that Professor Wilkins' data was destroyed, and by an unidentified assailant at that. Am I the only one here who feels uneasy about this?
We're hoping that the professor's still alive.
From now on, if any new cases of stigma arise here in the U.S., the patients will be transferred to this facility whenever possible. The operating surgeons will be Dr. Vaughn and Dr. Blaylock. Their prior experience dealing with stigma will be
One
invaluable.
is better than nothing.
I personally stand behind them, 100%. The rest of you will be invited to witness their expertise very soon.
I look forward to seeing the infamous healing touch.
Like I said, one is better than nothing.
That was a little unexpected. What have we gotten ourselves into, Marcus? Were you as shocked as I was by what they already knew?
Not really. A doctor considers any and all possibilities.
Well, I, for one, am surprised. I had no idea there was data on stigma, other than what the professor had collected.
Well, we've got more important things to worry about.
There we go, yeah.
We're leaving for the tech department tomorrow morning at 8, right?
Yes, so don't be late.
Yep.
All right, then I'm gonna go home and get some sleep.
Doctor, we just received an emergency request for help.
Right on cue.
I know.
What happened?
There was a big accident on the freeway.
Big
More than
accident.
30
More than
people are
30
serious
people in
condition.
serious condition.
The request came from the state hospital.
Now I feel right at home.
Elena, can you let them know that we'll accept the patients?
Well, the nearby hospital is all full, so some of the patients have to be transferred to us. First up, Robert Matthews.
No eye response, incoherent speech, decerebrate posture, E1, V3, M2.
Glasgow Coma Scale.
He's under 8 on the Glasgow Coma Scale. He's in critical condition. The patient has taken considerable damage to the right half of his body, and his lungs may be at risk.
He's definitely in bad shape.
The exact locations of his injuries are difficult to determine right now. His vitals aren't stable either. Please hurry, but be careful.
There's no time to lose. Let's begin immediately.
Alright, so we're probably going to have to get glass out of him, because he was in a car accident. That or broken ribs, I forget which.
Okay, let's get started.
Oh, yep, glass. Okay, so use forceps, A and
Beginning
B.
the
A and
operation.
B and what?
The patient's
And
condition
up and
has
left.
worsened since his
A, B, up,
arrival.
left.
Please begin by treating the external wounds.
Yeah, be sure to pull them out perpendicular to the wound. Up and left.
Yeah, up and left.
Yeah,
Hold it over to glass fragment and hold A and B together.
Yeah, Ian, you'll get the hang of it. If you have
Why are you left-handed?
No.
Why are you holding the Wii remote in your left hand then?
It's okay. You can hold it whatever hand.
I'm just saying, it'll be easier
External
if you
wounds
use
have
your
been
dominant
treated,
hand.
but I assume that it can only be worse on the inside. Let's open him up and begin treating his internal organs.
Alright, so big lacerations have to be closed with the forceps before you suture them.
Let's keep an eye on his vitals and treat every... This wound can't be sutured.
You'll need to use the forceps to hold it closed temporarily. Please suture it quickly, or the wound will open again.
Oh.
That's the worst of the wounds. Please begin treating the left.
That should do it for this area.
Use the
Vitals are
magnification
dropping.
tool to change where we're looking.
Magnification tool. With the ultrasound selected, hold the B button.
Ultrasound, that's left.
Down and left. Just left is a scalpel.
Oh. Okay, am I supposed to take this out here?
Yep.
Yeah. It's not.
No, why is nothing going on?
A and B together.
Yeah, I'm holding both A and B.
Close the wound before it hemorrhages again.
Well, if you're holding it when you
Drain
move
the
onto
pools
the
of
thing, it's
blood.
not going to do anything. You have to point at it and then press the buttons.
Am I
Vitals are dropping open into the
at the wound
laceration.
or the...
At the glass.
Why did I do that?
You're already holding the buttons. That's why it's not doing anything. Pull it out perpendicular to the wound. Don't push it in. Pull it out. You're pushing it in. Pull it out up and to the right.
This is
Yeah.
facing outward?
Yeah. There we go. Drop it on the tray, and we can close it up.
The hemorrhage has formed. Use the antibiotic gel to treat it.
Okay, drain is down and right. Just
Down and right.
Yep.
A down and right.
yeah. That's sutures.
A down and right.
Suture is right.
Close the wound before it hemorrhages again. Vitals are stabilizing.
Okay, this patient is all right for now.
All right, let's close him up. Operation.
Oh, okay, that was the only one. I thought there was going to be another. We did it.
Only got one of the 30.
Well, I assume the other doctors are also working on the others.
That was the last of the patients. The three of you can wrap things up now. All right. Thanks, Leslie. That was very impressive. If you don't mind, I'd like to assist you again sometime.
It's 3 a.m. Man, talk about a long day.
Well, this is what you wanted, right? To continue seeing patients.
Yeah, I guess that's the life of a doctor, no matter where you are. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bright and early.
Hey, don't worry. If we can survive in Alaska, we can survive anywhere.
Collaborative research.
So, I have a new job for you. But first, let me introduce you to our head of research.
Hello, my name is Dr. Robert Cromwell. Dr. Blaylock and Dr. Vaughn, I presume. It's nice to meet you. You must be busy adapting to Caduceus, as well as the newly established team. But the director recommended you two, so I would appreciate your assistance.
It's nice to meet you too. It would be our pleasure to help.
Good. I'd like you to participate in clinical testing under the supervision of the research lab.
Let me remind you that it is the duty of those in the medical field to not only cure patients, but to also research and pioneer new treatments. Doctors and researchers must work together to fight diseases both present and future. That's the purpose of Caduceus. There may be some interesting characters here, but they're all excellent doctors. I consider myself very fortunate to be able to conduct medical research among them. And on top of that, we now have the assistance of two truly gifted doctors with the healing touch. I firmly believe that with your precision, the data we'll be able to collect will be invaluable. That is why I'm so enthusiastic about your surgical skills. You don't have any objections, do you?
I appreciate your vote of confidence, even if it is a bit exaggerated.
He's a dedicated professional, although he tends to be long-winded.
Now then, there's an operation I'd like the two of you to perform. The research you're contributing to will give new hope to heart disease patients everywhere. I'll explain as I show you my lab. It's true that many people frown upon our astronomical research budget. Mostly journalists and politicians who are trying to make a name for themselves. You know how difficult it is to produce significant results when conducting revolutionary research.
We try things. Sometimes they work.
But thankfully, we also have generous supporters such as...
Oh, Dr. Cromwell, you have friends with you today.
Isabella, you really should start acting more professional. This is Ms. Vasquez. She's a representative of the Humani Corporation.
I'm Dr. Blaylock.
Dr. Vaughn.
Nice to meet you, handsome.
We're partnered with a number of large pharmaceutical companies and medical manufacturers, including Humani, who've been a tremendous help to us.
I hope my looks don't give you the wrong impression about our company. Humani is a major player in this industry, and I've been known to play hardball when needed.
Humani holds several lucrative pharmaceutical patents and leads the way in regenerative medicine.
Well, if there's anything I can do for you, just let me know.
We have a research specialist from Humani on staff as well. She's a very talented young woman and has produced great results. I believe she's never.
Sure.
Cynthia, can you spare a
your
moment?
skill.
You mean my lack thereof?
Hey now, it can't be worse than what I just
Oh,
did.
I actually, unfortunately didn't catch much of what you did. Did you eventually?
I kept pushing the glass into the wound.
Oh, you kept trying to kill the guy more?
It was a mistake of interpretation,
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
Yeah, I thought it was the other direction. I thought the glass was all the way in.
Yes,
I
Dr.
thought
Cromwell?
if we pulled the glass, if we pushed the glass further
Oh, that's
into
right.
the guy,
You said
feel
you'd
better.
introduce me to the doctors today.
This is Cynthia Kozakov.
I kept
She's
doing the same
beautiful,
thing with
as you can see, and quite brilliant.
I'm like, well, wait,
Cynthia
it's
Kazakov?
cool, so I gotta, like, push
You
it
wouldn't
over
happen to be
there.
from Trinity Medical School, would you?
Yeah, sure.
Valerie? Valerie
Trust me,
Blaylock?
I'm pretty much
Yeah,
probably
it's
dead
me.
amateur.
You became
even though
a
I played this
doctor!
longer.
Congratulations!
Oh no, they're going with Smarties.
They're everywhere.
Oh no!
Wow, all four of them. Oh, never mind.
No, there's a lot.
Oh wow, I totally forgot those were on my.
Brilliant. Yeah, well, we're gonna
I'm
have to
such
throw
a
them out.
smarty, aren't I?
Oh no! It went behind the
You are
computer.
not what you eat.
Oh my god. Okay.
Thanks.
Oh, well, eat these
I
and
picked
come
them all up
tomorrow.
off the floor. Just sit down.
Hello, Rashida
Wow.
Jones. How you doing?
I never expected to see you here, of all places.
You're going to be helping us? This is great!
I'm Marcus Vaughn. Sorry to interrupt such a touching.
I'm a guy. I don't understand what.
Nice to meet you, Doctor.
Or emotional.
So, you two are old friends.
This guy
I have a
looks
feeling
like a
this
villain,
will be
I swear.
fruitful. Now, Cynthia, can you explain
I'm
to me
creating
about
Frankenstein's
cardiac
monster
patch?
in my basement.
Allison Walker.
Okay.
Obliterative cardiomyopathy.
No. Fancy.
Requires myocardial patch transplants made from a new material.
Allow me to explain the details of the operation, as well as the usage of the myocardium patch. Our patient is a 10-year-old
no,
girl
another
with an
kid with a
occlusion
heart
in her
problem.
It's
heart.
a kid? Oh no.
Her heart functions are deteriorating.
I'm working
if
in
this
peds.
continues, she'll have a myocardial infarction.
Infarction is a funny word.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like another funny
That's
word.
where the myocardial patch comes in.
I don't know much about it. It's a form of
Um,
synthetic
Yeah,
membrane,
I actually
correct?
recognize
I
every
don't
single one I've
remember.
heard so far.
Yeah, myocardial infarction is
It's
just
a
a
heart
heart attack. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Why are
myop.
the medical people here?
Yeah.
I'm actually writing a paper on it.
Yes, it's a new type of synthetic membrane that uses the membrane itself is
Yeah,
elastic.
it's like a
That's
pacemaker
amazing.
and a
It
membrane
truly
all in
is a
one.
miracle of science.
Pretty neat invention.
Do you know what
It's
sickle
only as
cell
incredible
is?
as the skills
Yep.
of the people
Yeah,
using it.
basically proving that if your blood cell's shaped like a boomerang,
Nothing
that's
like
not
a little
good.
pressure.
Well,
I
it
don't
has
mind
some
though.
fringe benefits.
It motivates me.
Malaria resistance.
We'll do our best, of course.
Does
I can
it?
promise
Yeah.
you that.
I mean,
Or you could just not go to places that have malaria.
Yeah.
Why would you be going to somewhere that
I'm
has
about to
malaria?
say, how many places do you go where you get malaria?
So, we'll be
Used to be
applying this
pretty common.
myocardial
Hey,
patch by
hey, I can
positioning it
resist
according to the
malaria, but I'll
guide.
die at age 14. So
Is
there's
that this operation's objective?
Well, the thing is, it's a recessive gene, but it provides malaria resistance even if you only have one copy of it.
Oh yeah, right. No, that makes sense.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh my gosh, there's so much wrappers on the floor.
This operation will be performed without
only one
stopping her
wrapper.
heart.
Yeah, I guess. Can you
But
go
I
to
have
trash?
faith in Caduceus and in all
What
of you.
trash? Where?
In the corner.
Oh.
I usually
Alright.
put it in the box there.
Ugh.
Miss one.
Making me. No, I got it.
No, that one.
Oh. Jeez, stop. Okay, I'll be the woman.
Bullseye!
Good job.
Okay.
Let me be the chick. Thank you.
Okay.
You're a chick now?
I'm a chick.
That's
Sorry.
awkward.
I know it is, hon.
Let's start.
Let's start. Okay,
Is
so...
that okay that I'm a chick?
Um,
Is it okay that I Caitlyn Jenner?
Let's begin the
Is it okay that I
operation
Caitlyn
of the
Jenner?
heart.
Honey.
open her up.
Brian, don't kill him. I called you honey. I'm sorry. I'm doing a surgery right now, so I can't focus. Honey.
Alright, so this needs installing it needs angle and time.
The first myocardium pad. Carefully match the location and angle of the patch with a pattern on the heart. The myocardium patch has been successful. Her heart rate is increasing. There's a possibility that the already weakened areas of
watch
if
for
you find a
hemorrhage.
hemorrhage,
Treat it with the antibiotic.
Here's the next occlusion area. What? Does this mean that we'll have to time the placement now that the heart is beating faster? Apply the patch when the size of the guide matches the size of the patch.
Oops.
Doctor, the patient's undergoing cardiac. Use the defibrillator to resuscitate her.
Go. I swear I've heard. Didn't we hear that exact sound effect in Pack Guy?
Watch the guide and place it when the sizes match.
I guess it's a stock sound effect from something. Yeah.
The second occlusion area has been treated. Her heart rate is increasing. Be careful when placing the patch. Watch your timing.
There.
Myocardium patches have been. Let's treat them.
Alright, that was a
patches
fast
have begun
operation.
synchronizing with the
Less than a
myocardium's
minute.
movement, and her heart rate is returning to normal. She should be all right now.
Oh, very good.
Please close her up.
Got this. Going.
Close enough.
Finished.
Whatever.
Good work, everyone.
No,
just
you
press
just
A and then press A
you just
again.
point at the bandage and then press A.
Yeah. With only the precepts. See, think of precepts in real life. You pinch
Forceps,
them in real life.
not precepts.
Forceps, thank you. And with forceps in real life, you pinch those. So kind of like you pinch with A and B.
Yeah.
With everything else you pick up, you just press A. Pretty much.
That was a flawless operation.
Sure.
Simply
Flawless.
perfect.
Yeah. It's not like we stabbed the,
The
patient
patch
by
is
accident.
sure to integrate with the existing tissue. The patient.
I think
Yeah,
we see
I literally
excellent
almost lasered
results,
her
Valerie.
heart. What could go wrong?
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing more operations like this one.
Well, we wouldn't want to take up all of your time. The director has already spoken to us regarding the research on stigma. We're currently in the planning stages. In time, we'll show you what we're capable of. Right, Cynthia?
Yes, Dr. Cromwell.
She doesn't look too sure of herself.
Yeah, I know. She doesn't. She sounds like she's professional, but she's like, there's something wrong with that man. Whoa. This is gonna get crazy. Oh, we're going to Mark Sullivan's hometown.
The NIH has
Or
received
state.
a request for help from a hospital in Texas.
Maryland.
They're having difficulty with the diagnosis.
Episode 3-4.
So this is what we're dealing with,
These two pictures were taken
Hey, look, it's
only a
Foreman.
few hours apart. Look how far the focus is shifting. And its size has increased
Well,
drastically.
a lot of like the instrumentals are
A biopsy was attempted, but they were unable to obtain a sample.
We have to
of the
find the
heart.
girl that looks like
The
Cuddy.
patient will arrive in roughly 3 hours. Vaughn and Blaylock will be performing the surgery.
We'll check the patient's condition upon her arrival and then proceed with the operation.
We're treading on unknown territory,
Unknown
so
territory.
we'd appreciate your support, Dr. Tsuji.
Yeah,
I
sounds like
highly
we got a
doubt that
stigma
you two will
patient on
need
our
my
hands.
help. But I'll get...
Right, that's just his code name right now, right?
The patient's vitals are stable.
Do we ever actually find out
Blood
the name
pressure
of it?
110/60.
Stigma
Heart
is
rate,
its name.
60 beats
Oh,
per
okay. I
minute.
thought like they only codenamed it that because they didn't quite know exactly what it was.
The discoverer usually gets to name it.
Any case history?
Wish I could discover
She was
something
involved
so
in
I
an
could-
accident 2 months ago. Laceration on the right thigh.
That's
Looks like
true.
they used artificial
That is
blood
true.
for transfusion. Q-heme blood from Syntec Labs to be exact.
Artificial blood.
Are there any contraindications?
None that I'm aware of. But can you check with them just in case?
Will do.
The affected area is the liver. The course of treatment will be determined during the procedure.
Even so,
you skipped
I'm
the-
sure our
Oh, I thought
experience
that
with
was
stigma
I
will
thought
prove
the end-
invaluable.
the end was the line.
Let's stay positive.
Alright. New strain of stigma detected. Composition unknown.
According to the test results, this stigma is completely different from the one we saw before.
It tries every conceivable method to make its victims suffer. It's like a nightmare.
If it is stigma, then there must be a core somewhere, even if it looks different. If we can find and attack it, we may be able to identify the key to stopping it.
A core. Now that you mention it, there was something in the report about that.
That's right. We saw something like a core when we were operating on Professor Wilkins.
It's laser time.
Probably
I'm
laser
surprised you
time.
remember,
It's hammer
Marcus.
time.
Call it a hunch.
A hunch? Well, at least we have some hope of defeating it now.
I'll be praying that I don't have to get involved.
It's haunting me. Wherever I go.
Dr. Vaughn?
It's nothing. Let's end this nightmare.
Yikes. This got real.
Okay, let's begin.
The exact nature of this stigma and the types of damage it is capable of are still unknown.
We'll just have to open her up and observe it for ourselves.
Double scalpel action.
Double scalpel. We really sped that up.
So yeah, this is the stigma.
Confirmed. It's much larger
Oh,
than
yeah,
before.
That must be its core there in the center. The plan is to use the laser to incinerate
Heck
it, but...
yeah.
We can't do anything to it since the core has enveloped itself within the surrounding cellular tissue. The tissue itself looks highly viscous.
Good job. The
So yeah,
amount of
drain
cellular
the
tissue
stigma.
around the core has decreased.
Drain it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, then let's continue this and drag the core out.
The core's been exposed. Use the laser to incinerate it. It's working.
That wasn't so hard.
The core's being...
Is this a tumor? Let's burn it with the laser.
There is still tissue left inside the patient. Please drain it.
Burn. Drain that.
Right.
Just a little more.
Did it split up?
The core has to be in one of them. Use the drain to find it.
Your
We're just-
controller is just shaking.
I know, it's
like
just
crazy.
vibrating all over the place.
Got it!
Yeah,
No
killed
presence
it.
of stigma can be detected, and no affected areas remain.
Destroyed the stigma.
Yeah, that's the easiest
That was
stigma,
an amazing
honestly.
operation. Let's close her up and be finished.
Close enough. Well, hey. Hey. Oh. Oh. Why would it get my guy
You were
put
able
down
to
the
deal
laser
with it.
pointer?
Somehow.
I hope this is the last time we have to perform an operation in the dark.
We're finished. Great work,
Thank you.
everyone.
We killed the stigma! Ha 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 ha. It's so much fun being a doctor.
S-rank!
What? S-rank! Yeah, son.
Stigma's mobility far exceeded our expectations.
You all did a great job treating it. I'm glad you're with us.
Would you expect any less from Caduceus' own special
Yeah, I
disease
mean,
counteraction
come
team?
on, guys.
The SDC
We'll hold a conference on this case of stigma within the next few days. Of course, I'll need you to speak regarding
It
today's
looks like Kate
operation and the
Blanchett if
patient's
Kate Blanchett was
progress.
the doctor.
Your report will also be forwarded to Health and Human Services, so please get started immediately.
You must return the
Just give
ring
me a
to
strong
Middle
cup of
Earth
Joe, and I'll
throw it
crank
from
it
the
out.
fire's mouth.
Good. You
But
know,
first we must
there
cure
was
this
no
patient
way we
of
could have
myocarditis.
anticipated Stigma's metamorphosis. I was amazed at how well you adapted. I know you have the healing touch.
Oh right,
But
the
even
healing
so-
touch. I forgot that's a superpower.
I guess I'm just lucky.
We didn't even have to use it.
I know. Oh wow, we got
Deputy Secretary.
a whole list of season 1S. So much consistency.
Were you part of the C's? I know I was.
Oh yeah. How many did you actually end up doing?
He did 2.
The results from the liver exam indicate that the patient has been making satisfactory progress.
I believe in you. You got
She
this.
seems to be recovering well.
Sorry, I just
It's
want to eat
unclear
cake
how
right
this
now.
disease was transmitted in the first place.
Yeah.
We should continue monitoring her for at least another month.
Says he's a surgeon,
I
but
see.
really eats junk food all the
Well, I think it's safe to say that the treatment was
That doctor
successful.
doesn't eat as
How about the
healthy as
pathogen
he
itself?
doesn't eat.
What have we learned? And please keep it brief, Robert.
Like any
My
doctor.
pleasure, although our analysis is only partially complete. First, the biopsy. Stigma did not match any known organism, meaning it's a new species, so we'll have to come up with a name for it. So how about it, Dr. Everett? You'll be a grandfather one of these
When
days.
I was a kid, my doctor
My son's
was-
only 12. All he thinks about is football.
Oh,
He was always,
in
he
that
was, like,
case,
really cool
I'll
because
ask
he always
someone
played,
else.
like,
Now,
99.1.
regarding the spectral analysis, our attempts to determine its
But every
structure
time he came
resulted
back
in
from work, he
failure.
was like always either finishing a burrito or like something very.
What?
very fast.
How is that possible? I've never heard of that happening
Unknown
before.
structure. Couldn't analyze.
We tried a different machine,
He literally
but
do
the
it right
outcome
before
was the
giving
same.
me a checkup and telling me
We
that I
screened
need
for
to-
nucleic acid, proteins, glucose, lipids, and ATP, but there
Yeah,
were no
exactly.
matches.
'cause, I mean, he's
All
such a great
parts
example
of
to follow.
a regular cell. So this thing doesn't even seem to be made of cells.
Stigma consists of an organic compound that is completely foreign to us.
What? This will change the way we think about life itself.
Whoever is credited with its discovery will surely make history. From a medical perspective, it's fortunate that Stigma's infectivity is weak. We're trying to culture it, but so far there's no sign of growth or multiplication. It's going to be difficult to determine the means of infection as well.
This is more serious than we thought.
Madam Director, we have an emergency. Leslie, we're in the middle of an important conference. Deputy Secretary Marshall has collapsed. He may have intraaxial hemorrhaging.
George Marshall, from the Department of Homeland Security?
All right, let's adjourn the conference. Leslie, I want you to prep operating room 3 for him. Vaughn, Blaylock, you two will be performing the procedure.
You want us to operate on a high-ranking government
Good
official?
times. I'm sure there won't
I'll
be any
explain the
security
details before the
problems.
operation. So please, go make the necessary preparations.
Case of intraaxial hemorrhaging.
It's been 35 minutes since he collapsed. He's a 9 on the coma scale with mild tachypnea.
His breathing rate is too fast.
We're waiting on the CAT scan results, but it's most likely a case of subarachnoid hemorrhage.
This is his chart from his previous admittance. We performed deep brain stimulation to treat his dystonia.
Brain
able to
surgery.
recover
Good
from it.
times.
Looks like the system's produced by Columba and Cornix, the same company that made Elena's pump.
Yes, it's now a subsidiary of Humani. If you have any questions about it, you can ask Isabella.
Director, what's this shadow here on the X-ray?
Oh, that. It's a hippocampus chip. We implanted it at his request.
He didn't want to forget anything, so he opted to have his memory augmented. I assume they're keeping it quiet. Do we need to worry about being in violation of state law?
We don't have time to discuss that. Now, the hematoma is far enough away from the electrodes, but take care when using the thrombolytic.
Okay, we'll head over to the OR then.
What did you do that for?
Alright, treat the aneurysms. Brain aneurysms. Good times. Yes,
These are the
let's
results
try
from
not
the
to give him a
CT.
stroke.
Please take a look. A number of aneurysms have been detected. Some of the blood vessels have already burst and are hemorrhaging.
He's already having a
inside the brain.
stroke.
First, we must clear the
Or
excess
stroke
blood
of
from
luck.
the area. Then we need to treat the aneurysms. Remember, this is brain surgery. Please be extra careful when performing this operation.
Even a tiny mistake could debilitate his brain. We better be careful.
This will require extreme delicacy and dexterity. We need to do our best.
It's too bad they've got us.
All right, let's begin.
Alright. Go right in. Okay, first thing you need to do with an aneurysm is inject a sedative
Since we're
using
operating
a
on the
syringe.
brain, even the
Use the
smallest
syringe.
have to be
The sedative
extremely
is
careful.
purple.
Yeah, but what's the
Syringe is up and right.
up and right?
That bulge in the vein is the break. Let's remove it before...
I'm getting the sedative ready. Please inject it. Let's detach it with the scalpel while the sedative... The aneurysm has been... The aneurysm has been... Please hold the vein with the forceps. The vein has been reconnected. We are done treating this brain
That's the
aneurysm.
procedure for an aneurysms.
The test said there were multiple aneurysms, though.
There's a chance that any of these vessels will turn into aneurysms. Have the magnification tool rep. Let's shift our viewpoint when necessary and treat the aneurysms when they appear.
Magnification is in the X-ray?
There it is. Let's treat it before it bursts.
Yeah.
There's more where we're not looking. Once we treat the ones in sight, we have to quickly change our focus.
So,
Syringe.
Up and right.
Up and right, yes.
And then laser?
No, scalpel.
Scalpel.
The sedative's effect is worn off. Please inject it again.
The sedative is worn off. Cut the blue outline.
The blue outline?
Yeah.
What blue outline?
I already cut it.
Okay.
2 more.
Okay, so this thing.
Yeah. Alright, inject the sedative.
It's this one, right?
No, that's antibiotic gel.
What's that one then?
Use this. That's antibiotic gel.
Yeah, what's the one? The other one?
Use the syringe.
Syringe.
Syringe is up and right.
Oh my.
That's antibiotic gel.
Oh, okay.
The nunchuck has a guide shaped like an octagon. Use the octagon. It's an amazing shape.
Okay, and then I need to syringe it.
No, now you need the syringe, yeah. Scalpel. Forceps. Drain. Forceps. Sutures.
It looks like the situation's calmed down for now.
Alright, so there's gonna be like 5 of them at once now.
Okay.
Inject all of them with the sedative.
Inject, slash, and something else.
Just focus on the sedative for now. I can't treat all of these at once.
Doctor, please inject it into the bulging vein.
And then slash.
Syringe, no, syringe. Focus on keeping them sedated so I can treat them.
A and then.
A when you're holding over the brown liquid.
Yeah. Okay, and I need to drain these.
Yes, drain the blood.
Drain is this one.
Drain is down and right. That is sutures.
Down and right?
Yeah. Hang on, I can't see what I'm doing.
Okay, I need to do that thing.
Use the syringe. Use the scalpel. Use the forceps.
Yeah, okay. The forceps.
Use the syringe.
His vitals are stabilizing.
Okay, we saved him.
It looks like it's finally over. We're done here. Excellent.
It doesn't help that the controls on this side are his and the controls on the other side is mine.
We can switch seats if you want, or we can even switch remotes if you want.
Switch remotes. Like you have different abilities or anything.
Well, technically, yes, we do, but I'm not using the healing touch because I don't need it.
Yeah. We don't believe this is science. We don't use superpowers or miracles. Yeah. We don't use miracles.
Columba and Cornix's brain electrodes and pump units may seem cutting edge, but it won't be long before they're made available to the general public. Why do I have this nagging feeling?
So you can practice doing that.
Everyone who's contracted stigma has had some kind of artificial agent in their body. I wonder if there's a connection.
I think we are pressing
Dr.
A
Vaughn,
at the same
can I
time.
trouble you for a moment?
And that's skipping messages.
Of course.
I'm not pressing anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to check on the Deputy Secretary's condition.
I doubt I can tell you more than you already know, ma'am. Since he was brought here promptly, cerebral ischemia was kept to a minimum. And there are no signs of severe paralysis, so we shouldn't have to worry about any after effects. We can't use the MRI, so we'll take another CAT scan tomorrow. Will you be advising on his rehab, ma'am?
Yes, I will. I also need to administer a personality test. Because of his implant, he must be closely monitored. It's sad, really. He's such a talented man.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the guy. But I'd like to leave him in the hands of the others so I can concentrate on stigma.
Agreed.
There's something strange. That's the commercial.
And Dr. Vaughn, it's a shame that you feel the need to keep secrets from us. But I'm hoping that will change.
What makes you say that?
Your cutaneous muscles seem a little more tense than normal. I'm out of practice when it comes to reading faces. Was my assessment accurate? You're a critical part of the Caduceus team. I hope you're not thinking of leaving.
Of course not.
Challenge 2, if you want to try it. Or we can move on to Chapter 4.
Alright.
Finally, the last game. Oh, gosh.
Well, I can't play you back in anything, so there was no rush.
Okay.
Don't know what it is, it's just a training simulation. Let's see what we got.
So this is this one.
We've got hemorrhages. Small ones.
What are you doing back there?
I am your soul.
That's kind of
Drain the blood.
That scalpel is not forgiving. Oh, yeah, you must do it.
Alright.
I'll let you get back to it.
Okay. Alright. Okay, I need to cut this out, I think.
Yep.
So I need a scalpel.
Yep.
And drain blood.
I am your arms.
What? My arms are not on my
I need
shoulders.
to
They're under
Drain
my
it.
Oh, yeah.
drain.
Here's the
Alright.
No, speaking of shoulders, I'm gonna check this.
What?
And then we need to
Suture it.
suture it, which is
Okay, that's all of them on this patient. Disinfect, apply the bandage. Next patient. Actually, I'm gonna raise her vitals.
okay.
Use the scalpel.
Scalp.
Yep, you.
Yeah.
Aneurysms, okay? Inject the sedative.
Yeah. And then I need to
Use the scalpel, forceps, drain, forceps, suture. That's the stabilizer, that's not the sedative.
Oh, this is the sedative?
Yeah. I already injected the sedative.
Okay. And you're putting antibacterial gel everywhere?
Yeah, to stabilize the small hemorrhages.
Okay, so I need the brown stuff
Yes.
into there. And I need to
Cut it. Forceps, drain, forceps, suture.
Suture is the... I don't know
Whoa!
what suture
This one's about to burst. Suture is right.
Right. I need to drain. And we need to bend that there. And we need to take the brown stuff.
And here's all the cosmetics.
Yep.
This is fun. So we're all right.
Drain. Oh, what? It's that one. We need to cut, drain, and then suture.
Yep. Suture that.
Okay.
Save the dream.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring this lighter stuff up. Suture that.
Okay.
That was pretty bad. Oops. Okay, last patient. Probably.
Okay, cuts it.
Yeah, my hand's shaking too much.
That's it, maybe.
Well, that is perspective.
And what are these?
Okay. In pus. Drain it.
Oh, drain it.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright. Anti-inflammatory on the red spots.
The blue stuff is anti-inflammatory.
Yep.
And we need to.
I'll deal with the tumors.
Okay. Drain blood.
Yep. The blue spots can be burned with the laser.
Blue spots can be burned with the laser.
Yeah, the southern button, the south button.
And we need to drain the spots. What about these?
Fill them in with gel.
Oh,
Use the gel.
yeah. The gel, you mean this stuff? What about these things?
Use the blue fluid.
Oh, okay, the blue. Blue fluid, right.
Oop, out of time.
Oh.
No, it died. Who died? Who died? I don't know what that
And that is challenge 2. Which you're not going to continue.
Okay.
Alright, 4-1. Money talks.
It was a deep surgery going on, and then he realized it was somebody he didn't like, and so he timed out.
I considered lasering because
do you work here?
You consider lasering because you didn't like them.
Me?
My back angel decided that it was.
Yes, Ian.
yes.
Let the hate flow
Could you
through
please
you.
take a look at my son? He's been complaining of terrible stomach pain.
You brought him here? We don't accept emergencies or walk-ins.
I heard this hospital is famous, and it's so big. There must be someone who can help.
Well, there's no point arguing about it. I'll take a look at him. What's your son's name?
Oliver. Oliver McHale.
Suddenly there's
Chapter 4,
suddenly there's
Miracle
a cutscene
Surgery.
Hugo
This
doesn't
is a
believe the
weird
patient I'm
chapter.
dealing with. He's throwing a fit because his operation isn't expensive enough.
Did you not realize that that patient was our moral responsibility?
Are you
And Ian would
serious?
be like, I just
Yeah, his friend just had a hernia operation that cost $40,000, and he doesn't want to be outdone. He's 11 years old and filling the role of a trust fund brat perfectly. I guess it wasn't enough for him that his father pulled some strings to get him into this place.
we have no
He's
room
the
for
son of some big
feelings.
shot, and neither of his parents have the time to bring him here.
I did.
So how much are we charging him?
About $30,000. The operation will be performed in a deluxe suite. Not bad for a case of appendicitis, huh?
Appendicitis?
There was no
What
other
a
good one.
coincidence. I'm seeing a boy with the same condition.
Excuse me, Dr. Blaylock?
Yes, Elena?
I have a message from accounting. They say to transport your new patient somewhere else.
No. No,
It seems the family can't afford the treatment. Since Caduceus isn't normally open to the public, they don't know how to deal with situations like this.
How much is it going to
Yeah, it's
cost?
there. It's
Well,
there for you
the
to
family
use
doesn't
later.
have health insurance, so at least $10,000.
but transporting him now will put his life at risk.
Unfortunately, money talks, even when it comes to healthcare.
I'm not
What do you
fighting it, I'm
think?
just not gonna...
Should I have him
just don't
transferred?
see it as me losing
That's a
to
tough
you. I see it
decision.
as me losing to the game.
Marcus, have you given your patient his bill yet?
No, why?
Do you mind if I
wow,
handle it?
So many decisions to make.
Sneaky.
It's literally right there.
Chandler, I mean, Mr. Forbes.
Mr. Forbes.
About your hospital bill. The total will be $30,000.
I told you, that's not enough. I can't lose to someone like Jimmy. His dad's just the president of some little company.
I don't know, who do you think it is?
That
I want a premium upgrade. Bring in like 10 doctors.
Is that a kid?
Yes. Chandler Forbes. He's throwing a fit because his appendicitis operation isn't expensive enough.
Oh, wait, what? I want to...
He-
I want
Jimmy's dad is just the president of some small company.
Oh, bring in like 10 doctors?
I'm afraid we can't do that. But there might be something else we can do. If you'd like to make a donation, we can increase your bill. How does $10,000 sound?
That's it? Well, how much would the total be?
That would bring it up to $40,000.
But that's the same as Jimmy's. That's still not high enough. I'm way richer than he is.
Well,
I'm
we
way
could add
richer than he
2,000
is.
more and make it 42,000.
42,000. Well, I guess that's okay.
But hey, why not 50,000? I mean,
My tummy hurts. Hurry up and fix it.
We have the best room reserved for you, so let's get started.
Well then, the donation will be transferred from the hospital to the Oliver McHale Fund. Elena, prep for surgery. We've got 2 appendixes to remove.
Okay, first we're treating Chandler and then we're treating Oliver.
That's probably.
okay.
Same procedure for both. Press A.
Pretty sneaky, Val. To be honest, I'm impressed.
It still counts as a donation, so it's not going to cause us any problems, right?
It'll be fine. It's in both their best interests anyway, so it all works out.
Well, let's begin the conference. The first patient, Chandler, has acute appendicitis. It appears to be in its early stages, so the operation should be fairly routine. However, the second patient, Oliver, seems to have the same condition, but in an advanced state. It looks like he's been trying to hide his symptoms.
But he's only a child.
We understand the situation. This is going to be 2 operations back to back, so let's be quick.
Alright, yep. Just the routine appendectomy.
Just routine.
I'm ready to see the first
Handling
patient.
your brainwaves. Stop talking, please. This is a procedure.
Okay, so we need to.
It was especially common in, I think, World War
This
I
boy's
and II
condition is
soldiers
relatively
It's still
because
too late to treat it with antibiotics. It would be best to perform
they didn't want to risk
Alright.
getting appendicitis
Please
while they
begin
were out in the
procedure.
field. Hello, LP Solden! Glad you could make it. We're playing Trauma Center.
Please prepare to extract first. Inject
Inject the sedative.
Oh,
The
this
sedative
is-
is white
yeah.
this time.
Next, we'll be cutting into the mesoappendix.
Now this
Use
right
the
here.
scalpel to make. Next, we'll tie
Tie
2
2
wide. However,
wires.
they must be.
One goes around the base of. Look at where the wire needs to be. Then slide it over to untying the
Yep.
base. Now for the wire around it.
I already picked them up.
Yeah, I got
both
that.
parts of
Yep,
the
now
appendix.
we
Make
cut
an
it.
incision between the 2
Okay,
wires.
Use the
And
scalpel.
Got
remove
it.
the appendix from the cecum.
A button. Yeah.
Now that the appendix has been severed, the appendix has been. To fix the membrane looks like
Okay.
our first operation. Let's close
Okay,
him
so
up.
that's this one. And the
Yep,
fourth.
gotta get. Yep. Drag it all the way across. Yeah.
That went smoothly.
Okay,
move on
now
to
for
our next-
Oliver.
Doctor, we have a problem. Oliver's condition has worsened.
People are saying that they've discovered a
What's
proper
his condition?
function for the
He
appendix.
complained of severe pain and then went into shock.
Don't tell me. His appendix is
Good
burst.
We'll find out when we open him up. We have to hurry and get in there.
My cousin had appendicitis like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's one of my brothers.
The pus is causing inflammation. Treat the inflammation.
Okay, drain the pus.
Needs to be removed as well.
We just did
Begin
this
with
in the
sedative.
challenge. Use the blue. The blue drug is the anti-inflammatory.
This is bad. The appendix is festering.
Okay. Wait, is that it? No. I don't see another one. Oh wait, we have to inject the white sedative into the appendix. Okay.
No, now we have to
Cut.
Go all the way up.
and we have
Tie
to,
cables.
where? Here?
Because it gives you a little
Whoops. Neither of us picked up the cables.
blocked off.
Please hurry up and extract the appendix. It's secreting pus.
Yeah. Tie one there and tie one here. Okay.
Drain the pus.
Whoa.
That's a lot of pus.
The appendix has been extracted. Affixed the synthetic membrane has been affixed. Let's treat the remaining wounds.
I have some. Oh. My phone is lying somewhere else. I don't know where.
Okay, we got
The
it.
appendectomy is complete and the periton. Let's close him out.
I didn't have it in my pocket. I just told you that.
Okay, and we need to
This
stitch
boy is
that up.
scared if
That's
he'd waited any longer for surgical.
Oh,
Let's
right.
close him out.
I think I just left it in the car.
Good.
We're all the same under the knife. I never thought such a simple operation could put me on edge like this.
I think we've all learned something from this operation.
Saved 2 patients.
Dual patient.
Happy C score.
Yeah, probably. Hey. Good work.
Thank you so much, Doctor. You saved my son's life. But I thought that this hospital didn't treat normal
Your
patients.
left shoulder.
Well, it was an emergency, so this was a
Pretty
special
sure
case.
it's on the back.
Thankfully, an anonymous donor paid for your treatment fees.
Where do you
I
think your
can't
foot?
believe how fortunate we are. That
yeah,
donor
but my
must
toe
be
was
an
over
angel.
Yes,
That's why
well,
the toe is
please
way
see to getting your son health insurance so he can get the medical help he needs.
Let's hope the president in 2035 is. Let's hope.
How it is?
Yeah.
Let's hope the president 5-7 years from now is better than Trump.
Tell him to make the voice to the devil.
Okay, I will.
This game takes
You're
place
welcome.
in
Take care now.
2025. Or is it 25 or 27? I don't remember.
You're very good with children, Dr. Blaylock.
Thanks. I did some volunteer work at an orphanage. How about you, Marcus? Who were the lucky beneficiaries of your time?
I didn't do any volunteer work.
Really? I thought that was a requirement for all doctors.
I read what the ad was saying.
4-2, Good Samaritans. So either we're going to be helping somebody on the road, or we're going to get sued for botching a
He's so
surgery.
self-centered. Drives me crazy. He's got
Whoops.
some nerve. It's like he thinks we're still dating.
So yeah, Valerie is apparently having troubles with her ex.
That's just his personality. It can't be helped. Besides, you already said yes, right? You're not on call, so why not?
Do you guys want anything?
Think of it as a little vacation. A chance to reminisce about your college days.
Okay. Thanks, dude. As long as it doesn't say diet or 0.
I don't think we have any.
I like cringe every time I see like Diet Coke or Coke Zero. Not real soda.
The Coke Zero is not bad. They like replace whatever sugar fake sugar they're using with different fake sugar.
Yeah,
It's better.
but no matter what fake sugar it is, it's still worse than sugar. Fake sugar, you can't do anything about. Thanks, dude. I missed you, Sierra. It's this can.
knows what and 10 don't.
Thank you. I'm not supposed to know that.
Hoi, 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 hoi. Hoi!
I recently developed an interest in serum. Seriously. I think I still don't like looking it up.
Yeah.
How stupid of me. When I heard that he'd found a new type of parasite, I agreed to go without
Very
thinking.
focused bomb.
That reminds me.
Okay.
How are things between you and Ray?
A lot of things cherry mixed.
It ended when he went back home.
Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have brought it up.
Oh, it's all right. If you're so worried about this trip, then why don't you bring Dr. Vaughn along?
Genius.
He has some time off too, doesn't he?
I don't know if that would be such a good idea. I'm sure he wants to get some rest.
I think he'd be interested in going. It sounds like a fascinating discovery.
You think so?
Thanks, but I'll pass. Philadelphia's too far. It'd be a waste of my vacation. Besides, Robert finished his report on stigma, and I'd like to review it.
Oh, come on. Don't be that way. This information will be useful for you.
If it was that important, Caduceus would be all over it. A parasite isn't going to help us understand stigma any better. I have no interest in a new variety of hookworm.
You're going to drive all the way to Philadelphia?
That's the plan.
Did you see how bad
That
she
sounds like fun.
qualified?
I haven't been on a road trip in a long time.
Really? Then would you like to come along?
Are you sure it's okay?
Of course. The more the merrier. I'll tell Denny it's a field trip for Caduceus Special Disease Counteraction Team.
Hey, I didn't say I was going.
What are you talking about? This is a team effort. I won't take no for an answer. We're all going to Philadelphia this weekend.
Yeah, when we taking charge. I keep forgetting that doctor's name though.
On the freeway.
Valerie something.
Yeah, the first aid, yeah.
Someone's not happy.
That was an interesting operation, wasn't it?
I suppose. It would have been a lot more interesting, though, if the operation hadn't been performed on a dog.
Oh, don't be so cranky, Marcus. How was I supposed to know that Denny decided to become a veterinarian? He tried to be a nice host, right? Even if he didn't exactly succeed.
Look at that guy. He's driving like a maniac. I hope he gets pulled over.
Well, I thought it was worth the trip.
Really? Me too. I'm sure what we learned will come in handy someday.
We have to operate on a dog in Chapter 6.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah, like if we ever have to save a celebrity's pampered pooch. I never should have let you talk me into this.
Sorry.
Jeez, it was right by my ear.
I'm sorry.
All right, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking straight. I mean, how would you feel if your college ex called you out of nowhere?
I totally understand. Just ignore him, Dr. Blaylock. Hey, what's with that police car?
Huh?
There's been an accident. Stop the car.
Today's just not my day.
5 minutes. Accident victim with damage to chest. Removal of foreign objects.
Please re-diagnose during the procedure.
Sounds like forceps to me.
It's worse than I thought. Someone was thrown from the car.
It seems he was the only one inside.
He's breathing, but he's unconscious.
Welcome
The wounds on
to
his chest
medical
are pretty
dramas,
bad.
Solden.
He's not looking so great.
I brought a set of instruments. Let's get ready.
We're going to operate here?
We'll just perform first aid. He may be suffering from damage to his internal organs.
Well, this has turned out to be one hell of a road trip.
We need to provide first aid.
Let's go.
Okay.
He
And this
appears
is
to have
why you
sustained
wear a
serious blood
seatbelt.
trauma to the chest.
We need to treat these external wounds first. The patient's vitals.
Perpendicular to the wound.
has external wounds, but his vitals aren't stabilizing.
Well, that's
There's
what they
probably
have
some
Good
internal
Samaritan
bleeding.
laws for.
Please open him up.
Of course, that didn't help Mr. Incredible at all.
This doesn't look good.
Please, use the antibiotic gel before the hemorrhaging worsens.
Is the Wii U stuttering?
His vitals still aren't stabilizing. We must have missed something. We'll have to use the magnification tool.
We've treated all the wounds. Once you've drained the blood, quickly use the forceps to close the laceration.
Uh-oh. Those are dropping fast.
Doctor, something's wrong. Keep looking. Doctor, the shadow has disappeared. Please use the... It appears the blood has collected in the thoracic cap. Now
So,
suture the incision.
internal blood
The
pool.
hemorrhaging's formed a
Need to
pool of
cut it
blood.
open, drain the
Another
blood, and
pool
then
is formed.
suture it.
Please drain it. There may be other pockets of blood. Keep searching.
Well,
What?
bad
Oh my
doggy.
God. Why would you not turn the safety on?
Why would you have it loaded in the first place? That's actually illegal. No, it's not illegal. Actually, you can drive. You can drive with a loaded gun. As long as you don't have one chamber.
So in other words, the guy didn't.
Yeah, in New York, that's
So he had a gun. He had a gun loaded. It's in the chamber.
And you had to have one in the chamber, yeah.
It was loaded. And the safety was on.
Okay, we saved it.
Vitals are stabilizing.
He's still what?
Enhance the...
Okay.
Yes, but
Let's
no,
close him
it's
up.
nothing against the dog. It's nothing against the dog. It's just the man.
If we hadn't decided to operate, he never would have made it. Well done, you guys.
Well done, you guys.
We saved the guy on the roadside. This is probably the same guy that was speeding past us. 'cause
Happy seed.
I hope this was worth getting to your destination like
I'm
5
done
seconds
transferring.
faster.
Well, we at least accomplished something worthwhile on this trip.
Yeah, he's one lucky guy. How many officers can say they've received roadside surgery?
Those really are super.
Wait, the police car crashed. Yeah, he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. What the heck, officer?
Okay.
Something up with your hair.
No, my hair is just up.
Forced appearance.
You wanted to see us?
Going Super Saiyan.
Yes. I have a favor to ask of you two.
And now for the
Please,
crazy...
Okay.
And now for the craziest
I'm in
part of the
tornado
game.
pit right
Well, maybe the second
I
craziest.
don't like where this is headed.
Would you mind watching this video?
now. You are your own worst enemy.
It was accidental. I
In
brushed
these
against my
times
foot.
of
My feet are-
skyrocketing medical costs, there remains a ray of hope for those
My
in
feet
need.
are the most sensitive part of my
Only
body.
one doctor provides life-saving surgery free of
Except for
charge.
him. He's figured out the secret to touching
We're
Wish
back
come
again
true.
tonight.
Miracle
Continue our
surgery.
Well, that's
surprising
only
medical
one.
documentary.
intentionally. The rest of this right
Welcome
here
to
is
Wish Come True
Yeah, I'm
Miracle Surgery. I'm your host, Guy
No.
Davidson.
No.
Tonight, we have a heart-wrenching story for you.
No.
Now, let's bring in our hospital's director,
Big mistake.
That was a big...
Dr. Leonardo Bello.
Hello, everyone, and good
Look
evening.
at this guy.
My question for you tonight is, are you living healthy lives?
Thanks for being with us, Leo.
And then you do
Let
that,
me
and I don't know
compliment
how-
you
What?
on your work last week. It was inspirational.
It's a TV show.
I don't know.
I don't understand. One minute
Thanks, guy. But it's the patient who's the true hero. I'm pleased to report that Mr. Ellis is well on the road to recovery.
What's up with this guy? He's got like a weird mini tie.
I don't know. He's
I've
a
heard of
TV
this show.
star.
It's on primetime TV, right?
Yes. They agree to cover all the medical bills, and in return, they broadcast the entire procedure.
Sounds kind of sketchy.
Ethically, I have some concerns about the show, but I hear it's rather popular.
Seems like a complete farce to me. So what does this have to do with us?
Keep watching. You'll see.
By the way, Leo, you seemed a bit angry when you arrived at the studio today.
Actually, I was. Allow me to tell you why. As our viewers know, this program has brought to light many serious issues with our healthcare system. But I recently learned something even more disturbing. $300 million of our country's annual budget goes to Caduceus. Personally, that disgusts me. What's wrong with our medical administration? Where's the money going?
Ooh, that is a stock sound effect. I heard it in Banjo-Tooie.
Yeah, same.
Research only gets us so far. What about the thousands of patients who aren't receiving medical care?
The future of this country's healthcare looks gloomy indeed.
I suspect the members of that organization are growing rich while the taxpayers are footing the bill. I doubt they're courageous enough to operate under the scrutiny of the public eye.
You said it, Leo.
Is this like
Please stay tuned. We'll introduce today's patient following the commercial break.
I don't know. This game was written in
Say goodbye to
Japan.
your medical worries and hello to miracle surgery.
I know, well, Japan likes to make fun of America. So
What
they
was
probably
that all about? They don't have the slightest clue what we do here.
Whatever we
They've
consider
publicly
a problem,
tarnished
just like,
our
get over it,
reputation.
sissies, you know.
Obviously, their claims are completely unfounded.
Let them say what they want. They'll eat their words eventually.
I agree, but the higher-ups are outraged about it. We received orders from the Secretary of Health and Welfare to crush them.
Your government orders, crush them.
They want someone to make an appearance on the show.
That's why you wanted to see us?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the silly humans are scrutinizing us.
Welcome to a ridiculous episode.
We had no choice.
what do you do?
Besides, someone has to.
We're gonna be competing with him.
We can't just pretend like it never happened.
I can't believe that you two will be appearing on Miracle Surgery.
Competing.
Well, I wouldn't bet on it. One of the conditions is that if we win, they take the show off.
He's
the air.
only mostly dead.
That's a pity.
Mostly dead.
With your skills, I highly doubt you'll lose.
I'm a little more skeptical. My, isn't that a little cold, Dr. Suji?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'll be rooting for you both. But with Leonardo Bello as your opponent, it won't be an easy victory.
You know him?
Yes, he was well known at the medical school I attended. It may seem like he's all talk, but he's a skilled doctor.
Here we go.
In these times of skyrocketing medical costs, there remains a ray of hope for those in need. This is Wish Come True Miracle Surgery. Good evening, folks. I'm your host, Guy Davidson. I'm sure you've all seen the previews for tonight's show, so let me introduce our surprise guests. From Caduceus, one of our country's best-funded medical institutions. Please welcome Dr. Vaughn and Dr. Blaylock.
Good evening.
Not
It's nice
very
to be
much
here.
applause.
Hey.
Hey.
Let's start off with a simple question. What made you decide to appear on this show?
Unfortunately, there have been a number of rumors perpetuated by this program. So we're here to clear things up. Caduceus conducts useful research and provides unparalleled, in fact, Our research is the future of medicine.
Did you see what
You seem a bit defensive. What do you have to say in response, Dr. Bella?
It's not the future I'm concerned with, it's the
I really
present.
do. I'm sorry. I've seen things.
And if my criticism will force you to improve,
I'll show you.
then it will have served its purpose. Now, let the lesson begin.
That's our Leo, a straight shooter. Well then, let's introduce this evening's patient. Enrique Alvarez is suffering from a very troublesome tumor. And unfortunately, he also has complications with his heart and lungs. This has made operating on him difficult. And that is why he has come seeking help on this show.
Here. Tag you in this.
Mr. Alvarez, is there anything you'd like to say?
I'm incredibly grateful that this show has given me a chance to get some treatment. There were times when I got really down, but now I have hope. It's just that...
It's just what?
I'm a fan of Dr. Bellows, so I was hoping he was going to operate on me.
I'm sorry to hear that, Enrique, but there's no need to worry.
Good question, Solden. I'm sure it would be a PR disaster.
Let them proceed with the operation.
I cannot wait to
Really?
see how this
Great! That makes me feel a lot better.
Don't worry, Mr. Alvarez. You're in good hands.
fix a person.
You should do the next one. Enrique Alvarez. Multiple stomach tumors, possible heart and lung complications.
Whoa, multiple stomach tumors? Holy crap. That sucks. Double gastroma.
This isn't exactly the place for it, but let's begin the briefing. Like the host said, the objective of this operation will be to extract tumors from the stomach.
Nope. Use
The
the
patient
powell
also has
procedure.
arrhythmia, so we'll need to be careful.
So both of your patients have the same issue.
Got it. We'll perform this operation flawlessly.
How can it be a complication?
Exactly.
It's finally begun. The miraculous, life-changing operation is upon us. Will they save the patient? Will they prove their skill and determination?
Will that guy ever shut up?
Here we go. Let's do this. Sugar dooga biga baga dooga baga biga.
Start the operation.
Starting the operation.
Your time, sis.
The abilities of Caduceus's best and brightest will soon be laid bare for all to see.
Is he gonna shut up and let us operate?
So don't
He's
fail this
right.
operation.
Please
We're
begin
both
the
pressing A
operation.
again.
Very awkward.
Here we go! Are you ready for some surgery?
As soon as we're done hacking this guy's skin off.
According to the preliminary exam...
Hey, I think we've spotted something.
Scalpel.
Let's get a close
Drain.
up.
Scalpel.
Extracted.
Forceps.
They're going to,
Forceps.
The tumor is being...
Gel.
Oh, we've lost the tumor shell.
What about these?
Burn them with the laser.
Laser. Yeah, I get that.
Don't want to poke a hole in him.
His vitals aren't stabilizing.
There must be another tumor. Let's take a look with the magnification.
Hey now!
It's coming from somewhere.
What's this? Looks like they found something.
3 more tumors.
They've discovered more tumors. Caduceus's true skill is shining through.
The hemorrhage.
The tumors come back for more. They'll have to drain it again.
I don't know.
Forceps.
Forceps?
What?
Are these tumors multiplying?
We need to re-examine the areas we've already treated.
Four tumors.
She's mad at me because I have
Hemorrhaging severe.
The drain isn't working.
Drain's not working. Is it broken? Hurry and get a replacement. We'll manage for the time being.
Nothing we can do right now. Other than stabilize him, raise his latest.
Oh, no. An equipment malfunction? Get it together, Caduceus.
I call sabotage.
We don't have a drain. It broke.
Okay, here's the drain.
The bleeding won't stop.
Huh? The EKG is showing an irregularity.
Watch his heart.
Stop operating.
Don't touch. Okay.
Patient's vitals.
I'll get the defibrillator ready.
It'll be faster if we do it by hand.
A and B, A and B, A and B, A and B. Boop, 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 boop. Doop, 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 doop.
No.
I'm not understanding.
When the outline flashes white. What are you doing?
You said when the outline flashes white.
Yeah, it's flashing white over and over. You killed him.
Oh, you're dead. Oh no.
The outside was flashing.
Yeah.
The outside was red.
And it was flashing white. You need to press the buttons when it flashes white.
The outline, how it shrinks down. As soon as it makes contact with the smaller outline, that's when you press it really quick.
I can't let this go on. Stand back, all of you!
Or every single time.
For Dr. Vaughn and Dr. Blaylock, two gifted
In the
doctors
earlier
who
levels,
strove
it's
for
much slower,
perfection.
but as levels go on, it
The
gets
pain of their mistake.
No,
was
it's the
too
same
much to
speed
bear.
every time.
No, we've had levels where that was fast, where it was slow.
Because we were getting the timing right and the flashing pauses while the hand is going.
Oh, you guys didn't say which outline.
They both left the field of
No,
medicine.
I get what you're saying now. Okay. But outline could have meant the out one or the in one.
Oh, well, only the out one is shrinks.
Yes, but the
Only the inner outline.
Of Caduceus' best, and are they skilled surgeons? Or just government-funded slackers?
Is he gonna shut up?
Let's handle this like
He's right.
Here we go! Are you ready for some surgery?
According to the preliminary examinations,
Hey, I think we've spotted something. They're about to extract it. The tumor is being... They misplaced a member. Oh, we've lost the tumor shell.
Drain.
Oh my god. You're really fast. You even see her chocolate.
Oh, Hershey.
His vitals aren't stable.
There must be another.
Hey now.
Chocolate that has two.
It's coming from somewhere else. Let's use the magnification tool to find the source.
What's this?
Alright.
Looks like they found something. They've discovered more tumors. Caduceus' true skill is shining through.
Drain.
The image that takes care of one tumor. There may be others. What?
These tumors.
We need to re-examine the areas we've already treated.
How do I close?
Use the forceps to drag a membrane onto it.
Oh no,
And the drain stopped
Is
working.
it broken? Hurry and do
Oops.
it.
That blood is
Patient's
interfering
vitals.
with the operation.
Don't place it. Don't place it. There's blood in the way.
Oh no, an equipment malfunction? Get it together, Caduceus.
Here's a new drain.
Drain this.
Watch his heart.
Until we take care of these tumors.
Then I need to.
His heart's defibrillating. Stop operating.
flatlined.
Patient's vitals.
The patient's undergoing cardiac
Okay,
arrest.
so I need to press what buttons?
A and B together.
When the lights match.
yeah.
No. No, Sierra. No.
I'll get the defibrillator ready and...
Okay, we got it this time.
Talk about heart pounding, but this surgery isn't over yet.
I'd love to suture that fool's mouth shut.
There's more tumors.
More tumors.
Okay, we saved
Let's
it.
close them up and get this circus over with.
There were some stumbles along the way, but it looked...
Just close him up and we'll be done.
If he had radioactive waste, he would have gotten superpowers, not cancer.
How well did the surgeons from Caduceus perform, everyone? I'm anxious to hear Dr. Bellows' thoughts. We'll hear from him after the break.
Well, your move.
Oh, thank you. Wait. Take care of Sierra.
I don't think it's the 5th ring. I think it's anything.
Well, Dr. Bellow, how did they do?
Oh boy, I can't wait.
First, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Alvarez on a successful operation. But as I suspected, I should have been the one to perform the procedure.
What do you mean by that?
I would have been able to complete the operation in 3/4 the time,
I
reducing
guess
the amount of bleeding.
I'm famous.
If this is the best they can do, then I'm rather disappointed. What? Guy, why don't we settle this once and for all? Let's invite 2 patients with the same condition onto the show and do their surgeries simultaneously.
No, I'll be too busy
Then
doing
the
surgeries
difference in
and working
skill
15 hours a day.
will be obvious.
Have fun not seeing me.
Leo, that's a fantastic idea.
Of course, it depends on whether or not our guest surgeons are up for the challenge.
Of course we
Yeah.
are. We accept.
Jeez.
You completely fell for their trap, Val.
Valerie, come on. Go down.
You gotta select it.
I gotta select it.
Yeah, you're player 1.
So do I just... Oh, it's just shut him.
Point and click.
Well, that was hard. Alright, Caduceus, or Caduceus, whatever.
It's been a mess here because of your rash response,
Yeah,
Valerie.
Valerie.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me.
Well, I knew what I was doing, okay? I'll have you know.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Now, wait a minute. The situation is not as bad as it may seem. If they can win the competition, then we won't have anything to worry about. I have faith in them.
Why are we treating surgery like a competitive sport?
It is one.
I'm sorry,
Blame
Marcus.
the government.
Valerie. I should have objected to this more strongly. I feel responsible for the entire situation. But now that it's come to this, I have to ask you to appear on the show one more time. I promise you, that will be the end of it.
We'll be all
We'll
right.
be all right.
We'll finish this once and for all.
Yeah, until I get suckered into
Take these
another
artificial
TV show.
veins with you. The endothelial
Artificial
line itself is
veins.
perfect
Cool.
operation. Ordinarily, They'd take a month to produce, but our technology lets us make them in 10
Whoa.
days.
We live in
They're
the
made of
future.
special material which is easy to suture with and prevents the formation of thrombi. We only recently gained approval to use them.
I understand, Robert. Thanks.
Our patient is suffering from an aneurysm.
But still having
Still,
these
having these will be reassuring. I'm sorry, Valerie, but this
She's
is a
got, like,
good opportunity
model
to
hair.
sway
Her
public
hair's, like,
opinion in our
flowing and
favor.
everything. She's like, ugh, L'Oreal, because I'm worth it.
Maybe so, but I'd rather be researching stigma.
One-track mind, Marcus.
Yeah, jeez, Marcus, get
Well
over
then,
it.
Valerie,
Go
Marcus,
date that
good
chick.
luck to
She
you
seems
two.
nice.
Alright,
Still in
back to
Maryland.
the studio.
Alright, here we go. I can't wait to do surgery.
The time has finally come. The moment of truth. For the first time on national television, not just one, but 2 operations will be broadcast live. Our very own Dr. Leonardo Bello will be competing against Team
Oh boy, we
Caduceus.
can't wait to show you gory
As we
footage
near
of
the
surgery
start
on
of the
live
competition.
television.
A beautiful operation is performed quickly, as I assure you, our viewers are in for quite a
surprise.
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, you know
Don't
how
go
it is.
anywhere. You don't want to miss
I
this.
hate surprises.
Now, let's check in with Team Caduceus.
Our only concern is the welfare of the patient. Nothing more,
Except
nothing less.
Valerie, she wants to
We're calm
crush
and
him.
focused.
We are calm and we're focused
We're
and
concentrating
we're
on
strong,
the procedure,
independent.
not worrying about the competition.
It seems Team Caduceus has their eye on the ball. Anyway, I hope they'll perform an amazing operation for us.
Because it'd be really awkward if they didn't.
Each of today's patients suffers from aneurysms.
Aneurysm. Why did he emphasize? Like, ooh, aneurysm, so exciting. Jeez, dude, have some empathy.
Opportunity to see America's. Even though our patients are in good hands, we do have an emergency team.
So
on
that's
standby.
what happens if a patient dies.
However, I doubt
We
they'll
have an
be-
emergency team in case the emergency team fails. Yeah.
Well, the time has come. Teams,
Yeah.
please.
If even the
let
surgeons
the
and doctors
surgery.
can't fix it, then you're all done for. If Jesus can't cure it, the Apostle Peter certainly can.
Well, let's begin the conference. This will be an
Pretty big,
operation on an
Whoa.
aneurysm, so the basic treatment will be to excise the bulge. But
Battle
according
of
to
the
the
bulge.
diagnosis, there seems to be another aneurysm lurking there too.
Yeah, you
Let's use
saw
this
me working on
opportunity to
aneurysms
implant the
with
synthetic
Ian.
vein
So
while dealing with
inject the
aneurysms.
sedative, cut the aneurysm, take it with the forceps, pull the vein shut, and then
Got it.
suture.
Are you okay, Val?
Okay.
I think so.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm fine.
This amazing, unprecedented surgical showdown begins now. Who will reign supreme?
Jesus.
Whoops,
This guy
we
isn't
both
helping,
pressed
is
A
he?
again.
That's okay. I didn't want to hear that guy talk anymore.
Jesus changes everything.
Exactly. Boom. On the chick. Now and forevermore.
Good times.
Stay calm, everyone. Let's start the operation.
Stay calm and let's start the operation.
Well, here we go. Let's all do our best.
Yeah, you know what? You can. Technically, yeah, you can argue that. Jesus is always the answer.
I'm confirming the presence of an ant. It's possible that another may form. Please inject the sedative into the bulge. The sedative has taken effect
Oh,
now.
thanks, buddy.
Please drain the blood. Use the forceps. Now suture the veins to looks
Okay.
good.
Think so.
You.
But there are indications
Yeah,
that
right,
another
So
Sorry,
yes,
my
the
back
thing with
devil was,
aneurysm, the thing with aneurysms is
Continue
there's
with the
always a
operation,
lot of
Doctor.
them.
What?
Whoa.
This aneurysm.
So yeah, this is a three-way
The
aneurysm,
procedure
so
to
we need to
its
use the
first,
artificial
inject
veins
the sedative.
once we
The
cut it
sedative
out.
won't last long since it's so. The aneurysm has been. Please take care. The blood has been
Okay.
drained. Place the synthetic vein between. Twist your hand to find the right angle.
Take this. Okay,
Now,
suture all three
suture
sides.
the veins. Now suture the other end the same way.
There we go.
The synthetic vein has been sutured into place. Treatment of the large aneurysm is now complete.
Whoa! Did you see that? That was Amazing, Dr. Bello.
There's a lot of cheering going on for...
Must be that surprise he mentioned. Just ignore it.
Stay focused. There seems to be
Whoa,
an
3 of
aneurysm
them.
outside of our view. Use the magnification tool and treat it.
Okay. Keep them both sedated, otherwise... Oh, there's another one.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Doctor, an aneurysm burst. Drain the blood and treat it. An aneurysm has burst outside of our view. Please drain the blood again. The sedative is worn off. Please give the patient another injection.
Okay, I got him. Gotta pull it shut.
Oh, how do I forget?
Forceps.
Okay.
Pull one end of the vein towards the other to connect them. Doctor, another aneurysm is forming. Please, hurry up and treat it. The sedative's worn off. Please inject some more.
Alright, work on the one I already sedated.
Where is it?
It's the dull one. Gotta pull it with the you gotta remove it with the forceps.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, but...
Gotta use the synthetic thing for this one, because it's 3.
More blood is obscuring the operation. Please drain it.
Okay, last one, probably. Pull it with the forceps. Pull one end toward the other. Toward the other, not perpendicular.
Oh. That's what...
Vitals are... Please close up the patient.
Wait. Okay. Hey, you actually got cool on the bandage.
Yeah, hey, I've done that before. Like, twice. Oh, yeah.
Like C class.
Yeah, I just
We
got
let
back from-
too many aneurysms burst.
Yeah.
That operation pretty much expects you to use the healing touch.
Congratulations on a successful procedure. That was fantastic work.
Thank you. I'm glad it went smoothly.
I too am relieved that you were able to complete the operation. But you had me worried there for a while, since it was taking so long.
I'm training a rookie, Dr. Bello, okay?
Excuse me, sir?
Dr. Bello, you're already fit. That can't be. We completed our operation so fast.
Let's take a moment to review some highlights from Dr. Bello's operation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got the healing touch too.
Wow. I gotta got skills.
He has the healing touch.
Incredible.
That's my trademark. I have the ability to block out all distractions. I wanted to serve a piece of humble pie to all those arrogant doctors out there.
Very impressive. Now, the judging is underway backstage by an independent medical panel. Who will emerge victorious from this historic battle?
We're leaving, Valerie.
But
We're in hostile territory. There's no reason for us to stick around, no matter what the results are. Let's not give them another opportunity to criticize us.
You're right, Marcus. Let's go.
The results are in. The doctor selected as America's finest is Dr. Leonardo Bello!
Ew. Now, time for him to eat a piece of humble pie.
Yay.
Studio emergency.
He was worried got to operate on him.
No, it's something different.
Elena, you forgot to sterilize operating room 3. Oh, sorry. I'll do it right away. Jeez, what's gotten into you? I know you're upset about losing the competition, but you have to get over it. You're bringing everyone down. Where are the doctors? The director asked to see them. Yikes, that doesn't sound good.
In these times of skyrocketing medical costs, there remains a ray of hope for those in need. Only one doctor provides life-saving surgery free of charge. This is Wish Come True Miracle Surgery.
How can you stand to watch that? I'm not watching it because I want to.
Is it your penance for the fiasco?
The Secretary of Health and Welfare is furious, but that's to be expected. However, no one is blaming you two since you performed a flawless operation. I called you here for another reason. Take a look at this.
A letter?
Mm-hmm. How old-fashioned. Dear Caduceus staff, congratulations on your recent appearance on Miracle Surgery.
Right.
Seeing you perform that operation on national television really inspired me. That's why I believe it's now my turn to make an appearance. Is this guy a doctor trying to promote himself? Or is this another challenge?
Keep reading. I'm afraid it's more serious than that.
What you encountered at Concordia was care, the hand, and in Maryland you received soma, the body. But now I shall reveal ops, the eye, for the entire country to witness. I assure you it will be something to behold. The miracle of modern times. Stigma. He knows about stigma?
It appears so. That's why I couldn't just ignore this.
Is he the one who created it? Is he the one who kidnapped Professor Wilkins?
We've contacted the producers of Miracle Surgery, but they're not taking the threat seriously.
Now, the affected area is about to be exposed.
Exposed?
Wait, this isn't an ulcer? What is this? I just need to use my healing touch. No! I can't keep up with it!
It's a new type of stigma. Bello can't handle this. Even with his skills, he doesn't know how to deal with it.
Let's go, Marcus. Ma'am, please contact the studio and order them to suspend the operation immediately. Elena's coming with us.
What is this focus? My healing touch. Healing touch.
Leo? Leo, are you all right?
I can't.
Whoa, what the?
More.
He overexerted himself.
Whoa.
Leo, pull yourself together. You have to finish the operation.
Step aside. We'll complete the operation.
He pushed himself too hard. I guess he doesn't know his own limit. Make sure you take good care of him.
This is how we gain the spotlight.
Samantha Young. A new strain of stigma, ops, is present and must be eliminated. Video footage is currently under review.
Very well done.
The patient's already been opened up, but her vitals are stable.
Whoever wrote that letter called this stigma ops, which means
Okay,
eye,
so
right?
for this type of stigma, there's nutrients we gotta prevent from
like an
reaching
eye,
the eye.
but I have no idea
I forget
what
whether
its
you have to
function
use the
is.
drain or the laser.
Oh, that will be important to figure out. I'll start with the drain.
Did you notice
That's
anything
working.
while Dr. Bello was operating?
There was some sort of reaction at the core. But it seemed like it needed energy. I haven't seen anything like it before.
So the key to this operation is to not activate the core.
Team Caduceus has suddenly burst into the operating room. Will they save face from their defeat the other day? Will they get their revenge on Dr.
It's
Bello?
not about that.
There's only one thing we can do. We have to pray that...
Revenge has nothing to do with this. We're here because there's a patient in need.
That's right. This is what Caduceus does.
Here we go. Yes.
Ready to begin the operation.
Sorry, I was observing how attractive our characters are.
Team Caduceus is about to take over the operation that struck down even our own Dr. Leonardo Bello.
Here we go.
This is a new strain of stigma. So this is...
The tissue covers a wide area, but we should focus on removing the central core.
We should be able to burn it with the laser. Let's begin.
It discharged something. There are no problems. The laser's working.
Focus on the
Keep
laser.
using it.
Yeah, laser to core. I'll take care of the nutrients.
It's releasing something larger. The discharge has been incinerated.
Your laser
Continue
broke.
the treatment.
I'll take over.
How do I get rid of these?
Drain them. Burn the red
Tumors are
ones.
forming on the ops tissue. Burn them with a laser.
Count Caduceus, the eyes split up.
We have an analysis report from the lab. The material being discharged from the ends are nutrients. If these nutrients reach the core, it will activate and cause severe damage to the nervous system. We have to eliminate...
What in the world just happened? The patient's vitals have dropped significantly.
The core's activation caused the tumor to burst. It's wreaking havoc on the patient's vitals. Concentrate on treating the tumors first.
You're out of it.
Yeah, it's all the brain.
The core has been incinerated. Now, for the next one. The second core has been incinerated.
Oh!
We did it.
Oh, okay.
Awesome!
Apparently we're miracle workers.
Team Caduceus has
Sit up.
successfully driven out the unknown pathogen.
It's over.
Wow, we must have put on one hell of a show.
Anything
I'm glad we were able to save this person.
Please put your hands together for the heroes who saved another precious life on Miracle Surgery.
Yeah. Just need the patient, buddy. Aren't you proud of me? Yeah, B rank. What up?
We've just witnessed a true...
Thankfully, this is Sega and not Capcom.
2 new stars have been born right before our very...
Give me that.
Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you saw today is a new intractable disease known as stigma. It's a serious disease that's still a mystery to us. But Caduceus has been researching potential countermeasures, and because of that, we were able to save this patient's life. That's part of our mission at Caduceus. I think it's important for the public to understand what our organization is all about. I believe that those of us in the medical field have 2 major responsibilities.
Honey, listen, this is important.
One is to help patients with existing conditions. The other is to arm ourselves against new diseases that may arise.
Right.
So in other words, Caduceus is fighting for all of our futures.
Valerie, why don't you start wrapping it up?
Every doctor is a
Yeah,
part of
that's
this
nice,
fight,
Valerie.
so
Finish
please,
up, please.
consult your local physician if you experience any unusual symptoms. And if necessary, feel free to contact us as well. That's all I have to say. We at Caduceus hope to continue serving you. Oh, and by the way, this will be the last episode of Miracle Surgery. Good night.
Yay.
Chapter 5!
Yay, we made it through a chapter, guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, we expected as much. Alright, well, I mean, I think I'm pretty much conked out in terms of surgery.
Yeah, okay. Ian, want to take over?
Yeah, I can take another one.
Alright.
We gonna do a whole chapter, or?
Nah,
no. Alright, never mind then.
Oh, okay. So save
Alright.
this for another time.
We'll save this for another time.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching.
Bye, guys. You've been a great audience.
I could probably get an A or an S on most of these if I was playing solo, but...
Wow.
Oh, wow. Such humility there, Doctor. What's the name of that guy that we don't like in this game?
Leonardo Bello.
Yeah, you're the Leonardo Bello. Yeah.
Alright. See you guys.
Bye.